My God, we're live. Hi.
Talk to me nice, talk to me honestly. Look in my eyes, don't let it fall on me. Say you a good guy, make me believe it. Don't wanna hear it, I wanna see it. See how rewind when we rewind. It feels so nice. We time, you I know how to make me feel right. I can't help how got this sweet talk. I'm already on my way. I'm pulling up, don't be late. I'm cutting through all the lanes. Sweet talk. You need to say less to me. No need for no flowers, babe. I'm already on my way. On my way. Why you blushing? Yeah, sweet concussion. Oh, you miss my touching. You do. Show me something. Give me more than one thing. I need more than less than I do. Say you a good guy. Make me believe it. Don't wanna hear it.
Adam, what's good?
I wanna see it.
Am I muted?
See how rewind when we rewind. It feels so nice. I can't help how got this sweet talk. I'm already on my way. I'm pulling up, don't be late. I'm cutting through all the lanes. Sweet talk. You need to say less to me. No need for no flowers, babe. I'm already on my way. On my way. We've been dancing all night long. Right here with you way too long. Don't want nothing here or now. But I'm done waiting. Done wasting my time. Got this sweet talk. I'm already on my way. I'm pulling up, don't be late. I'm cutting through all the lanes. Sweet talk. You need to say less to me. No need for no flowers, babe. I'm already on my way. On my way.
Do we need to wipe the lens off?
Oh, yeah. We're just figuring it out, y'all. You know, we've been out for about a week, so just hang in there with us. We got a little bit longer countdown this morning, but come on in. Ask us anything.
What's up, Adam? What's up, Conrad? Happy Saturday.
Look in my eyes, don't let it fall on me. Say you a good guy, make me believe it. Don't wanna hear it, I wanna see it. See how rewind when we
You making noise?
Who making noise?
so nice.
I was banging on the table.
No, don't bang on the table.
What up?
You're funny.
I've been banging on the table since kindergarten.
I know this.
Shoot, we used to have jam sessions with them desks. We had it back in the day, boy.
Oh, my tea is cold.
Second, third grade.
Come on, tea.
You want me to warm the water up?
I appreciate you, though. Thank you.
Okay, baby.
Say you're a good guy. Make me believe it. Where's my phone? Oh. Hope you're enjoying the music. Sweet Talk. We get all of our music from Epidemic Sound. Relax. Grab a cup of coffee, tea, get your workout on. It's going to be a good one today.
We have a link. Don't we have a link for Epidemic Sound in our in our
Yes. The
in our
birds are quite active this morning. They're freaking me out a little bit.
the birds.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, in our room, we have windows all the way around our room. We only have one wall in our bedroom that does not have windows. And we basically live in a aviary, I guess you could say. And sometimes the birds are just it's just really interesting, and they
Yeah.
freak me out a little bit.
During the panorama, we have definitely seen an uptick in animal wildlife activity. And my office is on the other corner of the house, and so I have windows on two sides of my office, and
Yes.
sometimes it's like a speedway around there. I mean, the birds come around that corner like
We name all the animals in our yard.
they chasing each other and having races and doing all kind of crazy stuff. I'm like, was that a hawk? I mean, some of these birds are moving so fast, it just be bugging me out.
I
mean,
know.
And I've been like an amateur birder for a long time.
Yes, he has. I bought Heath a birding book like 20 years ago. That's how long my husband has liked birds.
These birds, they move fast. It's like out of the ordinary fast.
If you think anyone else is interested in our show this morning, talking about the DMV and what's going on, share it out today and jump in with your questions. You can ask us literally anything.
You know, Undercover Real Talk, this show is a lot of, Undercover Real Talk, low key, is that what my kids say? Low key, this show is like life coaching.
Is it?
Yeah, Real Talk is like life coaching.
Okay.
What we're doing is really executing the conglomeration of some of the things that we've learned during the course of our lives, right, in our both professional and private lives,
That's true.
and articulating that for our audience. And so what they're seeing and benefiting from is all of this knowledge and data points and perspective that we're bringing to these conversations, which is it's really life coaching, right? We are certified marriage counselors, right? Marriage coaches. Essentially, we've been creating relationship content for over 5 years now, and then making sure that we segment this Mindset Minute really is another life coach psychology piece that we're imparting into people. And so if you're intuitive enough, you're seeing tremendous value in this show, but it's really cloaked in relocating to the DMV. But Real Talk is free life coaching.
Because
So
you need all of it.
that's just a pro tip
You
for
need all of it. People think you just need money.
that's just a pro tip for those people out there that
Good
are
morning, Dylan.
astute enough to
Thank
recognize.
you. Yeah, you need.
What's up,
People
Dylan?
think you just need money. You know,
Mhm.
and you don't. You need so much more.
Mhm. Yeah.
You know, you need so much more in your life than just money.
Adam Shelton down there at Daytona Beach, BCC crew.
Ask the people who have money. You know,
What was that? Like, Adam got like Daytona Beach in the background of his picture.
he's making us jealous.
He's like, look, I'm on the beach.
I know.
I'm on the beach and you're not.
No, we're not.
I see you, Adam. I see you. Conrad, Dylan Sand. What up, Dylan? Love the grind. Appreciate you, Dylan.
So I think.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
I
we
might
definitely
start
have
a little earlier.
we definitely have
already.
full time work. Trace and I are both working full time in conjunction with some of the things that we do from a personal branding, social media perspective. And so yes, the grind is real, the grind is serious, but we enjoy it, right? And so I think that's another pro tip, right? You want to identify things that you enjoy, things that you do well, right? And create a way where you can do that every day. And then you'll never work another day in your life, as they say.
I mean, I think we started this whole thing because a few years ago, my grind was awful, to say the least. Mentally, my mental health was in a struggle. And, therapy is good. Having a loving family and husband and good income is good. But when you find yourself at the end of your rope,
Your rope. Got to tie a knot.
you gotta tie a knot sometimes, and I think it might be generational. I don't know. But we weren't quitters, and so I had to figure it out.
Yeah.
So Heath and I came up with the idea for a YouTube show and a podcast and everything. And what it did was it gave us value outside of the workplace. And that's a whole nother conversation we could have, of course.
Yeah.
But when we started it, we fell in love with it because it gave us so much value, not only to one another, but to our family and our friends, and to you guys to meet new people basically on a weekly basis is so fulfilling. And if you are interested in doing this, do it. You know, we highly recommend it. It's going to give you that that you need before you go to work on Monday.
Yeah, something that surprised me about it was that was really that it enabled me to actually do a better job
I agree
at
with that.
work, because I think that it impacted my attitude and my attitudinal approach about what I was doing, because I had that additional release and outlet, that creative space where I could do some other things. And it also gave me sort of the mindset of, hey, there's some light at the end of the tunnel, or if I ever decide to do something outside of work, maybe I can make these other new things my work. And so it really sort of opened up some, what do they call them, synapses in my mind or something, right? And so I think it really gave me encouragement around what we were doing on the side. And so now I think this is all good.
I think it's great. I think it's great. So we're going to go ahead and hop into
Did you change the
show.
time, baby?
Yeah, I changed it. I'm ready to go.
Wow. Okay.
I wasn't here last week and I missed you guys. I'm ready to go.
Okay, look at that. Welcome to Conversation with Heath and Tracy, where we demystify your move to the DMV every Saturday morning at 11 a.m. EST. I think this is a record.
What's the record?
This is the first time in the history of Conversations with Heath and Tracy that we have started the show early.
We started about 30 seconds early, guys. It's not that we didn't start that early.
Look, we coming in hot today. So I hope you guys are having a fantastic Saturday. And if you're watching this on the replay, hey, it's all good.
We love you too.
Hope your day is going
But you got to
well.
catch us. That's when you get the questions in.
Hey, look, Saturday morning, EST, 11 a.m., you need to come through and hang out with us. If you want an upbeat vibe in your Saturday, come in and join us. We are here.
And also, if you don't want to ask a question on here, if you want to be a little bit more private, sorry guys, if you want to be a little bit more private with your question, am I doing this right? There we go. Ooh, there. So if we want to be a little bit more private with our question, we do have a link. You can join us for an appointment. And we will be happy to sit with you and kind of go over what you think your plan is or what you think your plan should be.
Yeah.
And we are on there for several things, but you would click appointment with Heath and Tracy, moving to the DMV. Heath also gives advice there for career advice in moving into tech. If you're looking to move into having a tech career,
Yep.
he is very successful at that.
Come
And
on.
he has a lot of connections and a lot of knowledge around that. And he can help you with that.
Yeah, that's true.
And also, if you're having challenges in your relationships, we have appointments for that too. So jump in there and the link in the bottom and you can see what we got going on,
We've been married for a while. We know a
And
few things.
today, if you want to ask us a question, go ahead and type it in the comments. It's going to pop up for us, and we're going to jump in there and ask a question. Good morning, Ice Tray.
What's going on, Ice Tray?
morning.
Yes, appreciate it. And the rest of the day to you.
Care 007.
Okay,
Good
wait.
morning.
I got to double click on Ice Tray's comment.
Oh, okay.
Right? So if someone says the top of the morning to you, there actually is an official response
Oh, what
that
is
you're
it?
supposed to deliver.
Teach me, baby.
So if someone that says top of the morning to you, the response properly is, and the rest of the day to you.
Oh, I love that.
There
And
you
the
go.
rest of the day to you, Ice Tray.
Yes. Shout out Ice Tray.
Okay. And good morning, Care 007. One
Care
of the
in the
regulars
building.
in the house.
Care in the building. What's up, Care? West
I was gonna-
Coasters.
There you go. You're going to watch an old video. But here we are live.
we right
Welcome
here.
to the show. I love it.
We're here live and in color.
And if you're thinking about moving to the DMV, we want to help, right? So we're going to talk about, I finally got my canoeing video up, y'all. We went canoeing on Father's Day.
We did.
And last time we were on, I couldn't get it going, but I got it going now.
So we're going
And-
to show y'all some
Right.
canoeing.
We're not talking about a specific place today, but next week, we have another guest.
Okay. Is that next week?
Yes.
All right.
I talked to her next week. She lives in Baltimore, has
Okay.
lived in Baltimore for a while, and so she's going to drop knowledge on Baltimore next week, guys.
Some of our regular viewers were asking about Baltimore
Yes.
and some of the metro
So we're going to
areas.
give you Baltimore.
We'll give you a little Baltimore.
I don't know
next
anything about Baltimore. That's why we haven't really
week.
talked
We know
about
a
it.
little about Baltimore, but
We visit Baltimore.
not as much as we know about
Right,
DMV
right.
proper. Yeah.
Right. So, and then design your life. Do you have a challenge? No, that's not it. What are we doing today?
Today we're talking about how to think.
How to think.
Yeah.
How to think.
How to think. That's a deep subject right there.
That's a skill we've never been taught.
Mm-hmm. So we're gonna get into that.
We're gonna get into that
in the mindset minute.
And if this is your first time here,
I'm Heath.
and I'm Tracy.
Tracy and our parents, podcasters, and joyfully married after 31 years. That's right, 31.
Oh, it is 31 years.
Yep. We are also certified marriage counselors. We are authors and writers.
No,
and
you're an author. You keep saying we are authors.
we
No,
are,
baby.
We're tech workers. We've been parents for a long time, and so
We've been parents for 31 years.
we matriculated through Howard University.
HU in the news this week.
You know, it's always in
Always
the
in
news.
the
There's nothing
news.
new because
No. We're
it's,
used to
it's
it.
just a legendary institution that we happen to be affiliated
Let's
with.
not go off on a tangent.
Shout out to all the HBCUs. Shout out to my bison brethren and sistren out there. But yeah, and
The sistren
the sistren,
alumni.
the alumni. But if you want to engage us outside of the show, Trace and I have a link connected to the show notes. So
As I mentioned
definitely
earlier.
reach out. Definitely reach out. We're glad to chat with you.
So if you need help relocating to the area, take a second and subscribe.
Yep.
But we do a lot more on this channel than just talk about the DMV and living in the DMV and why we moved to the DMV and why we love the DMV. But we also talk about relationships. Everybody wants to talk about relationships.
Yep.
We talk about relationships because we know something about them.
Shout out to all the DMVers.
Yeah, we've been married for about 31 years, so we get the whole relationship thing. We also talk about we show some vlogs of our family. The heirs, as we like to call them, haven't been cooperative lately.
They have good lives.
They have great lives, and I don't think they want to share them with anybody. So, but they're really interesting people. I'm gonna get them one day.
They're a
I'm gonna
little
figure out
selfish.
something.
They're a little selfish about their
I'm gonna figure
personal
out
space.
something. Like, they're just like they're the whole paparazzi mode.
Hey,
kinda.
the oldest did come through a couple weeks ago and share with the people,
Yes,
right?
she did. You met
Some-
the oldest
yeah, some
last
people-
week.
some
Well,
people-
no, a couple weeks ago.
Some people are able to engage with the oldest, right? And so we'll see. We'll see
Yeah.
what the others thinks down the road.
And if you're new here, definitely let us know in the comments
Yeah.
by typing.
New you.
That's
We want to
Heath's
know.
thing. We want to know. We'd love to meet you.
Yeah, we want to chop it up with you. Meet you after the show. We answer all of our comments and questions, and so definitely connect with us in the comments section down below.
Welcome to Conversations with Heath and Tracy.
Boom. Welcome back to Conversations with Heath and Tracy, where we are here live every Saturday morning at 11 a.m. EST to demystify your move to the DMV.
So the first thing I want to show you guys is my boat video.
Look.
Oh, look, guys, that's the Key Bridge. That's us going over the Key Bridge.
Is that Key Bridge?
That is the Key Bridge.
Oh, okay,
You
okay.
got, what's that in the back? You got Georgetown. You got Roslyn.
Yeah.
We did this on Father's Day. Our oldest child bought tickets that I reimbursed her for.
Yep.
And just thought it was a great idea. Really, really cool setting. It was a beautiful day. It wasn't too hot.
It was Father's Day, and it was also our anniversary weekend.
Oh, it was.
Yeah.
It was.
It was like a double entendre.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Our 31st anniversary and my 31st Father's Day.
we didn't kayak. We
canoed.
canoed,
We
which
canoed.
I was like, I think I'm gonna kayak
It
next
was like a
time.
flashback to summer camp.
Yeah.
Make the boat go this way. Go this.
Oh my
paddle the other
gosh.
side.
Of course, I'm yelling at him, telling him which way to go,
I'm
and
like, baby, it's cool.
he was so cool
It's-
about it,
it's
y'all. He was
fine.
so
It's
cool
fine,
about it.
baby.
Yes, people had their babies. Look at him. He's
That's how
so
you
cool.
get down right there.
He's so cool.
That's
about
how.
it.
That's how you roll on the river right there.
That's funny right there. I can't believe
It was like
this.
a
I
gondola.
was like, why
I felt like
are
I
you
was in a
leaning
gondola
back? What-
in Italy.
it's like this is my husband, y'all. He just like chills. So the boat landing that we went to is right by Georgetown. You just go underneath the bridge.
Mm-hmm.
And I wasn't happy with the way. I will tell you, it's very clean.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
A lot of people were out that day.
Yeah, it was a good workout too.
The waters were somewhat calm. We had a lot of yachters.
Yeah,
out
it was
there.
calm. It was calm because even the boats, they have the
They have to
speed
go
limit,
really,
so they
really
have to go
slow.
really slow to keep the weight down.
Right,
So
right.
it was really cool.
But it was an absolutely beautiful day.
Yeah.
If you're ever in the DMV, we highly suggest you do this activity.
Yeah.
It was not expensive. We were out there for about 2 hours.
Mm-hmm.
We were out there about 2 hours.
Yeah, about 2 hours.
Yeah, because that way you can just kind of take your time, and it does not smell. The water is very clean.
Yep.
People are very, very nice and
Yeah.
everything. You could just get out there and kind of float, which the kids kind of did. That's Teddy Roosevelt Island over there. You can actually hike over there if you pick it up from the GW Parkway.
Yep.
And that's the Georgetown waterfront, which we showed you.
Mhm.
Little water taxis that go all the way down to Alexandria that we showed you also.
Watergate.
That's the Watergate Hotel. You got views of the Washington Monument and the
Kennedy
Kennedy
Center.
Center. You can actually boat all the way down there. Those are the yachts along, the mini yachts all along Georgetown
Yep.
waterfront. Where you can you can hop off and go have a drink, have some
Yep.
chicken wings or some oysters or whatever. Just really, really, really enjoyable day there.
Yeah. That was dope. That was dope.
That was really, this is one of the things we love about living here is being near the water.
Yeah, it's very underrated. I think a lot of people don't realize how dope the DMV is, right? And so we love it. We spent our formative years here and have just found such a soft spot in our heart for the DMV in general.
Yeah, we have. Yeah, I know, right? Lean back. He was definitely leaning back.
Hey, that was dope because those boats had like a back. Yeah, like in the canoes we grew up with, it was just like a
metal thing, a
metal
bench you
strip
sit on.
bench that it was just going across the boat. But these had like a seat back as well. So I
Yeah.
was like, yo, I'm leaning back, right? So it was cool. Yeah, we enjoyed it.
So let's talk about the fence, y'all. This is what's going down in the DMV right now. The fence is coming down. So remember, y'all, when that attack happened 6 months ago, after the January 6th, they put up this metal fence around the Capitol, and it was just really kind of an eyesore.
Yeah.
And
Looked crazy looking
it
when
was
you're driving
crazy
around.
looking when you're driving around. You really couldn't get around the areas you're
Yeah.
used to driving
But you gotta
through
be
and
safe.
everything. And it started coming down, I think yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really nice because if you live in the area, you want to walk around. It's like a park-like setting around here, and it's just really, really good to see some normalcy coming back. And if you remember, this is a tourist area. This is a tourist destination. And
Absolutely, especially
that-
this time of year too.
yeah, that area gets about 2 million visitors a year, just that area. So I just think it's really good that we can see some normalcy, some life normalcy coming back to the DMV.
Yep.
It's really, really good to see.
Absolutely.
All right.
Should I show the audience my fresh flower picking today?
Go right ahead. You got to show them your flowers,
give me some transition
babe.
music?
Yeah. Okay. Let's see.
So for those of you that don't know, that are new to the show, this is the time when we get into another phase.
Oh, we gotta introduce the
So
flowers
now we're bringing in the freshness, the boldness, the color pops.
Okay. So he did get up this morning. I don't even think I got a kiss this morning.
Okay, let me pause.
I don't even think. Thank you. Ran outside
Yep.
to get y'all's flowers.
Because this is for Queen Tracy, but it's also for our audience.
Is it, babe?
Yeah, it's for the
He
audience.
did
as
start doing it for me first.
well. Absolutely. So y'all,
Now he does it for you all.
you guys are benefiting from the flower game.
Be honest. You didn't even kiss me this morning. He got these flowers for you all.
Just because I knew that we were under a time crunch. I slept in a little bit.
You're forgiven, my love.
Thank you very much. So as you can see, the roses are a little more
The
on
roses
point.
are back.
The roses are coming back, right? So we have, and what's crazy is some of these roses grow on the same bush.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah. So we have the roses mixed in with the hydrangea, right? We brought the purple game for y'all. We got the pink game. The fuchsia game is happening, right? And so all of the flowers that you see all grow in our yard. It's crazy. it's crazy out there.
I love it.
So just wanted to give y'all the.
These are my favorite right here. Let me show 'em my favorites.
Show me your favorite.
Look at this purple right here, y'all. That purple hydrangea.
Yeah.
Look at that pink. That's pink with purple in the middle.
Mhm.
Okay, you put it back, baby.
Yeah, I got it.
Thank you. Okay.
Flower game strong.
Flower game strong. I think we got a couple questions, babe.
Who's got a question?
Let's see.
Type is a question.
What?
We got you.
Nev, hello.
What's up, Neve?
What's up? Curious. How did you guys meet? Oh my gosh.
Come on, Neve. You don't know the story?
What? You don't know the story?
Okay, short version is Tracy and I had a mutual friend at Howard University.
Yes.
And our mutual friend was actually my homegirl that I went to high school with that also went to Howard with me.
And she was a classmate of mine. We had the same major, so we were in a lot of classes together.
Yeah, so they were both political science majors. Tracy continues today to be a frustrated lawyer because anything you need to know, she gonna research it, and then she gonna out talk you on it. So
all right, Heath.
You have no shot.
My lawyer friends love me.
Trust and believe.
Our lawyer friends love me.
Yes, that's correct. And so, long story short, we were both writing for the school yearbook.
Nope, that's not what happened.
My friend.
Are you shortening the story?
My friend requested that I come in and write some sports stories because I was a writer, right? So in School of Journalism, School of Communications at Howard.
And I was just looking for extra cash because I needed some extra cash, and I knew she was a yearbook editor.
It had like a stipend connected to it, right? So she was like, yeah, come through. I'm going to tell you all about it. So I came through. Tracy was already there. I walked in. I was like, yo, who is this? Why have I never met this beautiful woman before? What is your name?
This is exactly
my name is Heath.
What he did.
Lisa, why have you never introduced me to this beautiful woman?
Exactly what I did.
And she was just smiling, and I was just holding her hand, and I wouldn't let it go. So yeah, that's how we met.
And we saw each other. Never seen each other before. Saw again that day like 2 more times.
Yeah, we did.
So by the 3rd time I saw him, I gave him my phone number.
And there you go.
And the rest is history.
The rest is history. 31 years.
Yeah, Howard University's campus.
HU.
All righty. And let's see. Ice Tray. Great question here. What is the difference between living in Virginia than Maryland? I've heard some people say I'd have to pay vehicle taxes, but I wanted to know how much would that be and the reoccurrence of it.
Okay, I see your Ice Tray.
Okay. So we did research living in D.C. versus Maryland versus Virginia.
We did because we were coming in blank slate.
Yeah, we could live anywhere. And so Maryland is great for space if you want a bigger home.
Yep.
If you want a cheaper home.
Yep.
Not a lot cheaper.
Right.
But comparatively to D.C. and Virginia.
Yeah.
Tax-wise, you are going to pay more in in Maryland.
Yep.
Maryland's overall costs are higher. Just from what I could tell.
Right.
Okay.
But housing is less expensive.
Housing is less expensive. They have everything in Maryland. I mean, Maryland has everything and everybody. That's what we loved about Maryland. It's super diverse. It's super, I shouldn't say diverse now. Well, I guess it is. It just depends on where you go. It's affordable too. You have more affordable spots, I would say, in Maryland than you do in DC or Virginia.
Northern Virginia.
Yeah. And but tax wise, I think like owning your car and tags and taxes on your home and stuff like that, all of that is higher. Right. Because you have to remember, Maryland is much smaller than Virginia. Virginia not only has Northern Virginia, but it has Southern Virginia. Right. So we kind of balance out our costs because you have so many people that live in and around Richmond. So we have like 2 big major cities in Virginia that really, really help the economics kind of stand up a little bit better. Yeah. Whereas
you
Maryland,
got the Tidewater. And then you have Richmond, and then you have Northern Virginia.
They're just larger. There's like 3 larger cities. Well, really just 2
areas
in Virginia. Whereas Maryland is like
Maryland's
Baltimore.
Maryland's very scattered, right? Because you have the Eastern Shore,
it's a lot of
the water
country
towns
in Maryland. So your taxes and things like that are going to be higher in Maryland.
Then it goes up and it goes way out west. But
Yeah,
the
it's just
Maryland,
not a lot of people.
the area around here, right?
Yeah,
The-
so
when we was talking about the DMV, we were talking about the closer in suburbs of Maryland.
Yeah, and we're talking about, an hour away. If
Mhm.
you go to like Fredericksburg, Maryland, okay, it's totally different land up there.
Yeah,
It's
Frederick,
cheaper.
Maryland.
And is it Frederick?
Frederick, Maryland, Fredericksburg,
Mar-
Virginia.
Okay, I'm thinking
Mhm.
about,
Mhm.
So as far as DC, everything is more expensive in DC.
Mhm.
Now, property taxes, I think, are a little bit cheaper in DC.
Yep.
Even though people want you to think differently, it's just not. When I
Mhm.
compare it to living in North Carolina or even Georgia, it's comparable to those areas as far as property taxes.
Mhm.
Car taxes, just having a car in DC is
Mhm.
higher
Mhm.
because they get broken into.
And you get tickets.
You get tickets.
You get parking tickets.
You have more wear and tear on your car.
You get speeding
I
tickets sent to you in the mail.
don't advise you driving a car regularly if you live in DC. Get used to Lyft, get used to Uber,
Yeah.
get used to the car share, get
Metro.
used to the Metro, get used to a bike,
Yep.
get used to anything except. And that's part of the reason we were going to look at DC, because we were going to. Well, this is when we were going to downsize, but we were going to, do one car and do the Metro and walk and make sure we live in a walkable neighborhood and
Yeah.
things like that. So that's what DC is good for. A car is not good in DC. Northern Virginia is more expensive to live in, but as far as I've seen, my insurance has gone down for moving from North Carolina. Okay.
Yep.
And taxes were, it's just not, you have a little extra tax. I think it's, if you move here and you don't change your tag right away, they're going to charge you $100. You have to change it within 30 days.
Yeah.
And that happened to us, and I thought it was wrong because it was a pandemic and I couldn't get it done, but they charged me $100.
The
anyway.
panorama challenges.
Yeah, panorama. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
And so I think it's important for you to definitely research that, find out what zip code you live in,
Yep.
and then look at the requirements for your vehicle, for your home, trash, all
Yep.
that kind of stuff.
Yep.
Water and trash is together in Virginia and Arlington. We live in Arlington County. So water and trash is together.
Yep.
So did I answer your question?
Yeah, I think so. And then as a general
Yes,
rule of
you do
thumb-
have to pay vehicle taxes
Yes.
in all of them.
Yes. And as a general rule of thumb, I think if you look at it from your income perspective, Virginia is going to be the most favorable from a tax perspective, then DC, and then Maryland. So there you go.
Yes. Yeah, Virginia it's like the further up you go, the coast, the higher it gets. Oh, cute. Yes, thank you for the flowers. Okay, hi, Princess M. Good morning.
What's
Are
up,
there any
Princess?
affordable areas in Northern Virginia that you would recommend?
Yeah.
Oh, yes, most definitely.
Yeah, definitely check out some of the past videos that we've done, Princess. I will
Definitely.
call your attention maybe to Loudoun County, also down by
Did we do
Potomac
Woodbridge?
Mills, past
Yeah,
Woodbridge and that area. Some of the challenges, of course, are traffic and that kind of thing. So just depending on where you're working, where you need to go, where your family is, how you need to navigate the area, all that comes into play. But yeah, you can find some affordable places, and as we always recommend as well, you can always find some palatable rentals in conjunction with places to buy. So just keep that in mind as well. But yeah, there are places, there are pockets all over Northern Virginia that you can find.
There's affordability everywhere,
True.
literally.
True.
It's not so much areas, because what's happening is even in those affordable areas, people are going in and tearing down the affordable homes and building the more expensive homes.
Right.
So the less affordable homes are just the newer homes.
Yeah.
So if you can find an older home that's going to be more affordable than the other homes, I think it's important to come here. You need to come here and drive around.
Right.
And if you're looking for something super affordable, you need to come here if you can and drive around and actually like write down addresses and buildings, because what they do in DC is they just have like a sign on the building.
Yep.
Saying you could live here or live here, and those are more affordable because they're not going to spend a lot of money on marketing.
Right.
So you're not really going to see it on the internet. So what you have to do is come here and drive around and say, oh, that's a cute building. And they're really well kept. They're nice. They're in great areas of town.
Yep.
And they're not going to have things like central air.
Yep.
Like that's just not a thing here. In the older buildings, you will have window units or
Right.
something like that, but you won't have central air.
Mm-hmm.
So there's tons of affordability here. You just have to really, really look for it. Also, like we mentioned before, check out the housing authority websites for the different counties.
Mm-hmm.
So you've got Arlington County, you've got Fairfax County, which is Alexandria and Vienna and Falls Church, places like that. You have DC Housing Authority. They have affordable housing, and you usually have to go through a program and qualify.
Right.
But I think because the area's income level is so high, I think the cutoff for most areas is like $80,000. So if you make $80,000 or less, you can qualify for affordable housing here.
Yep.
And affordable housing constitutes living in the same buildings where people are paying $3,000-$4,000 a month.
Right. Right. Another pro tip is that typically in DC, whenever you're on the metro line or close to a metro station, there's a commensurate price increase on housing. So that's another thing, right? If you want to leverage public transportation, you want to live somewhere close to a metro station, so you don't have to necessarily have a car and that kind of thing.
But your housing is going to be higher.
Yeah, you might see a slight uptick in your housing costs in those areas.
Yeah, so the further you are from the metro, like if you see those gaps on the metro map, get a metro map. And if you see those gaps on the metro map, that's where it's going to be more affordable. But along the line, it's literally like 1,000 higher.
Right.
Because they know how accessible that is.
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't lived on a metro line in like forever. But if you, it's easy. The bus system here is really, to me, the bus system is better than the metro system. So if you can live on a bus line, like my daughter, when she lived in Deanwood, she literally took one bus to get to work. She got on the bus and boom, she was there when she lived on Capitol Hill, not Deanwood, when she lived on Capitol Hill. And so it's important to research those kind of things. Don't just focus on a certain house or a certain apartment building or something like that. Focus on, remember we talk about design your life, you know, how do you want to commute? Do you want to commute? Is it important to where you live? All right, do you need to be near parks? Do you need to be near grocery stores? What do you want to be near the water? Things like that. You can find affordable housing literally everywhere.
Yeah. Design your life, princess.
Okay. Oh, the story of how you met. Oh, thank you. Yes, he was. Yes, he was.
It was like boom.
It was like
Ton of bricks. It was like the Cupid brick.
Right. Okay. So Kara says, how has the real estate market started to slow down? No. So in the higher end homes, I would say yes.
Yep.
So homes that are 1.5 or higher has definitely slowed down.
Yep.
I think I looked at Zillow last month, and this month, in the house that we live in, is $600,000 less than it was a month ago.
And when you say slow down, you mean in terms of how fast the houses are moving, as well as prices beginning to contract a little bit in terms of what they're asking
So
for.
the answer is no.
Right.
In this area, keep something in mind. I think just in DC alone, they're 40,000 units short. So there is a housing issue in the DMV. Because so many people want to live closer in. So what's happening is if a house is affordable, and let me just share with you, a house is affordable in DC if it is $1 million or less.
Right.
So if you see something
Yeah.
that is less than $1 million in certain areas that are close to DC, Alexandria, Arlington,
DC proper.
Deanwood, Bethesda, anything that's in close.
Yep.
You need to jump on it.
Because the investors are snapping them up.
Between investors and people that have been out there looking for a house for months, between people moving here, you have to remember the type of jobs that are here are high income jobs. So, and then you have people moving from the West Coast whose homes are typically higher than ours on the East Coast.
Right.
And what you have to remember is that they're looking for homes too.
Yeah.
So you are in competition with so many people looking for the same thing.
Right.
And then there's a shortage of housing, period. Right. So keep that in mind. So no, there is no slowdown when you get to a certain price range. Now, if you're going to go up in price range, you can kind of relax a little bit.
Yeah.
But if you are in the area where everybody is looking for a home, it's going to be tougher.
Yes.
It's going to be a lot tougher.
Well said. Queen
All
Tracy.
right. So another question you just asked about rent prices going up. So rent prices are soaring as Americans flock back to cities. It's exactly what I'm talking about. 33% rent increases, bidding wars on rentals now.
Yeah.
Rents are starting to surge in many parts of the country as the economy is starting to reopen. We've been reopening here for about a little over 2 months now. And the other thing is young people are starting to return to the cities. Jobs are saying, okay, come back to work. I think I read an article yesterday that the people that work for the city of DC start work on Monday. Okay.
We'll see you in the office on Monday.
So on top of new people coming out of college, millennials, Gen Z, they're renting and they're coming back, and they've been staying with their friends and families in other states and everything. And now they're coming back because they're going back to work.
Yep.
And they're looking for rentals.
Right.
So they're like, okay, rent's going up. On top of that, you've got people who are older, baby boomers, whose kids are like, I'm out of here now. I got my vaccine. I'm out of here. I'm going back to work. I'm going back to wherever. They're moving back into the cities too, because they're like, I'm getting rid of this big old house. So you have so many people in the rental market. It's kind of flipped right now.
Yep.
And so nationwide, they say rent prices are up 7.5%.
Yeah, that's significant.
That's significant. And that's according to apartments.com. So that's another little trick we say, look for houses. Look, because especially in this area, you can find a cute 2-bedroom homes. You can also find apartment buildings that aren't these big regular apartment buildings. That they're like quads and triplexes. They look like homes, but they're quads and triplexes. And they're usually in the best part of town.
Right.
Like if you look in Lyon Park, there's a lot of them. If you look in certain areas of Arlington, there's tons and quads of triplexes that are more affordable than living in a high rise. You're not going to get the weight gym. You're not going to get the pool. You're not going to get all that stuff. But you're going to get a really cute, updated place to live that's close to everything.
There you go.
I do. That's a hot tip, most definitely.
Pro
And then
tip,
they're
Tracy.
usually larger than those high-rise, new fancy dancy apartments too. So it says here, analysts expect rent prices to keep climbing for the foreseeable future.
I agree with that.
And this they consider this a burden, but consider this a time to, if you're an investor, to try to get on that boat. And they're just trying to balance it out. It's just a weird time right now, so expect those things.
Absolutely.
But also, if you're moving to the city looking for a transfer or a new job, keep that in mind. Like I said, take what you're going to spend on your housing and multiply it by 4. That's what your take home needs to be. So then you got to add another 30-40% to that.
Yeah.
And that's where you get your number that you need to give them.
Good
And then
tips,
you'll be
baby.
happy. You'll be happy here. But a lot of people live here, and they, if you get paid twice a month, they get one check to the rent and one check, they get to blow.
Yeah.
So
that's like 50%.
that's too much. That's too much. But
But
people do it.
But people do
I
it.
know people that do it.
Yeah.
So people do it. But it's pretty common here. But there's a lot of cool things to do in this city.
Yeah, and then that also takes us back to that roommate scenario, right? So
Yeah.
if you have some people that can help you mitigate that expense in terms of your housing, now
Definitely
you can bring
do
that
it.
percentage down, you bring that ratio down, and now you've got the location you want, you've got that updated place that you're looking for, and all is well with the world.
Kier 007 says, got it. Yep, that was my question. Thank you for the update. I'm hoping to do my first visit, look around in a couple of weeks.
Go on,
I'm
Kier.
happy to rent first. That is so smart.
Really smart.
It is so smart, guys. Don't be afraid to rent first.
Yeah.
You're not going to, quote unquote, miss out on anything. These houses aren't going anywhere. And if prices go up, you just need to stay in the mindset that if they go up, that's fine. You're going to be able to afford that too. I think people get into this fear notion of, if they go up more, I'm not going to be able to afford it. Don't do that. That's buying into fear.
Yeah.
And we need to stop that. Houses have been going up forever, and people have been buying houses forever. It's not gonna be that bad.
They go up and they come down.
They
too.
go up and they come down.
Buy on the dip.
Okay. So in other news, what we got here? I did want to talk about this. Oh no, that's the wrong thing. What happened?
Let me ask you this while you're doing that, baby.
Okay, I got it.
Would we like people to like the show?
Well, sure,
Would we
baby,
like
hit
them?
the button.
We would like them to like what they see. If they see something that they like, would we like them
You're
to like
so
it?
funny. I'll go ahead and do that. If you like or anything you hear, hit that like button.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very, very much.
We appreciate you, as does the algorithm.
Yes. So that helps us. That helps us a lot if you hit that like button.
Thank you very much.
Okay. So going back to rentals and just staying on this subject for a second.
Yeah, were you getting ready to pull something else up?
Yeah,
Oh,
before
you
you
can find it.
interrupt. Let me see if I can
I
find it.
didn't interrupt.
Here we
I didn't
go.
interrupt.
Yes, you did.
No, I didn't.
All right. So why Arlington apartments are getting bigger. So I came across this article this week.
Mm-hmm.
Where did I don't remember where I saw this article. I'm always reading and looking for stuff for you guys.
Yes.
But currently, apartments under construction in Arlington
Okay.
are larger on average.
Okay.
Okay. And then they say overall they're building bigger apartments. So just like you see the rents going up, the sizes of the homes are also increasing.
That's good.
And they said, but the gains on projects in Arlington County, Virginia, are among the biggest in the country.
Okay.
They said the average size of an apartment unit under construction in Arlington County is currently 905 square feet.
Oh, wow.
That's
Okay.
almost 100 square feet larger than 5 years ago.
Yeah, I was going to say.
And they said because of the panorama, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because of the panorama, you're going to see this happening because people need larger spaces, more families are renting.
Yep.
But like I said, if you want an apartment, that's what's going on. And that's why we say find a house.
Yep.
Find a house. But apartments are giving you more wiggle room, and that seems to be the trend.
Right.
So they're saying a lot of people that are living in homes, they're like, I think I want an apartment now. I don't want to take care of stuff anymore. But they still need the space. They have kids, they have dogs, they have cats, and they want more space. So we definitely see that happening.
Yeah. Like I was alluding to before, also because you may want to take a roommate or whatever it is to mitigate some of that cost, and so it's good to have a little more space so you don't feel as cramped with some of the newer places. So I think that's smart on behalf of the developers too.
Yeah, so they're starting their families in these apartments too, and that's why the apartments are larger because they say, okay, well, you've got family now. You need 3 bedrooms, or you need 2 large bedrooms, and you actually need 2 bathrooms and a half bath.
Yep.
You need a larger living space. You need a little outdoor space. So they're starting to give people more of these things, even with the amenities that they're adding.
Right.
So 30 cities where rent is cheaper.
Okay.
Is this another one? Am I
Okay.
doing this right? So 30, let's move on to this. Do we have any questions? No, we don't. Yeah, Adam said, hit that like button. Thank you, Adam.
+1, Adam. Like and subscribe. If you're
yeah.
not subscribed, we appreciate you.
So the next thing we wanted to talk about, I know I had a lot of things because I was like saving all this stuff for you
You
guys.
good, baby. We had a whole week when we weren't on the air.
So there are 30 cities where rent is actually cheaper than a mortgage.
Okay, talk about it.
But we feel like that's the case anyway. That's where we are. So if you're wondering what's cheaper,
Okay.
renting or paying a mortgage, the answer is renting. And each of the nation's 50
Wow.
largest metros.
Not 50.
50. How much cheaper?
Might
Might you say?
That would be the question.
$606 is the average
Oh,
per month.
So if I rent, then I'm going to be looking at $600 less than I would have to outgo on the mortgage.
On average.
Right now. Wow.
And that's just the mortgage. That does not include the maintenance.
Right.
Because if you own a home, trust and believe there's going to be maintenance.
Oh, yeah. That's a whole other conversation.
That's a whole nother conversation.
That's a show within itself.
That's a show within itself. Y'all coming from people who've owned like 4, 5, 6 houses. Okay. But it doesn't mean that it's cheap. It just means it's less than owning a home.
Yeah.
So they said like San Jose, California, they said, for example, renting is $1,000 less than a mortgaged home. But your median rent is about $2,200.
Okay.
Okay. And that's one of the highest. The cost of housing Housing costs includes utilities and fees and taxes.
And for those of you that didn't know, Tracy and I were realtors in our former life before we got into tech, and so we know a little bit about real estate.
We know a little bit about real estate. We own real estate. We've owned commercial real
We
estate.
help
We've
people buy.
owned
We help people sell.
rental properties. we've been there, done that, bought that T-shirt, and we don't have that T-shirt anymore.
Go ahead, baby.
Okay. In some cities, the gap cost of renting and owning is narrower. Like if you look at areas like Orlando and Tampa, Indianapolis, those renters can save an average of only about $300 a month, right? But, consider and they're getting this information from Lending Tree, guys.
Okay.
So the metropolitan areas are, let's see. The first one, we're just going to talk about the ones here, but of course the big ones. You got New York, you got LA, you got all those places. But Virginia Beach in Virginia.
The Tidewater.
The monthly median rent is $11.80. The housing cost.
Okay.
With a mortgage. You
All
notice
right.
how they did that, y'all?
Housing costs with the mortgage.
With a mortgage
Okay.
is $16.97.
All right.
So the difference between rent and a mortgage is $500. That's a lot of groceries.
I can see it.
That's some groceries. That's your car note.
That's investment opportunity too.
That's nice.
You know?
It
you
is.
in the stock game. You looking maybe to pick up some rental real estate on the side. Maybe you're looking at doing some other things.
Yeah, and
you want to fund your business.
And Virginia Beach is a destination too.
Absolutely.
The other one that we wanted to pull in was Baltimore. The median gross rent in Baltimore is $12.95. The median monthly housing cost with a mortgage. Notice we didn't just say a mortgage, but housing costs with a mortgage is $19.39.
Ooh, okay, I see it.
The difference between rent and mortgage is $644.
What can you do with $644?
You can do a lot. And then last but not least, DC is number 13 on that list.
Okay, DC.
The median gross rent in DC is $1,690, and yes, you can find a nice place for $1,690 in DC. Yes,
true.
you can.
That's true.
Median monthly housing costs with a mortgage is $23.99. I'm gonna tell you, it costs more than that.
Yeah.
Because you had to put a down payment on. And these days, lenders are asking for 20%. And the average house in DC is $800,000.
Right.
Okay. But if you just want to look at the monthly cost, difference between rent and mortgage is $709.
I love this cute little block right here. This picture.
That's
that they
DC.
took.
That's DC right there.
No, but I'm saying it's so cool and quaint.
It's so
When I first moved to DC from Atlanta, and I came to DC and I was like, can you put that picture back up?
Oh, sure, baby.
I came to DC and I was like, that's y'all front yard? Y'all got like one tree out there and ain't no real grass. I was like, people like this? Like, what is? I was so confused.
I love the window boxes.
I was just like, this is strange.
I was looking
man.
at window boxes yesterday.
But of course, I'm a little more worldly now, right? So I really have the appreciation for the city itself, for the district, for the DMV in general. But that was just kind of juxtaposition of my 18-year-old brain. It just wasn't jiving.
It wasn't weird to me. It wasn't weird to me. And I was looking at the window boxes, but I have to say, y'all, we're doing no spend July.
Okay.
We're not spending money on anything but food, clothing. No, not even clothing.
Yeah.
Food and shelter.
Okay.
This month, we're paying our bills.
Okay.
And we're eating food, but we're not eating fancy food.
Okay.
We're not going to fancy restaurants and things like that.
A little mid-year reset.
We're doing a little mid-year reset.
Okay.
And it's just to go.
Yeah.
Because I looked at my mint and I was like, what the frick?
It's kind of like fasting.
Yes.
It's like let me fast on this spending right now.
Go ahead. I know it's the 10th day and we've been doing it for 10 days now, but go ahead and join us. Try not to spend any unnecessary money this month.
Yeah.
Like I said, I was just looking at the window boxes in that picture. And I was looking at window boxes yesterday. Because we have like these little Juliet balconies outside of our bedroom. I was like, oh my God, those will look so great.
You gonna put a window box on our Juliet?
Oh my God, I think I would just love it. But I didn't buy them.
Okay.
Because I'm not buying anything this month.
Right.
I'm not buying it. I did buy a bunch of stuff at the end of June because I knew I was going to do this. But we're not buying anything.
Let me get it in.
I got it in.
Oh my
But
gosh.
yeah, so we're not buying anything. So the cool thing about living in this area is you can still have fun.
So much free stuff you can do.
There's so much free stuff you can do.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah, the museums are opening back up. Lots of things are happening in the city, right? You can have a picnic. So many cool parks and settings, right? You can go out riverfront, find it, watch the airplanes take off and land.
Great really point. All the museums are opening back up.
Yeah.
If you're going to come to the area and you want to check out a museum, make sure you go online first and check the museum's website.
Yeah.
And then what'll happen is when you go to a museum website, you'll see where they say get tickets. They don't cost you anything. The tickets are free.
Yep.
But you do have to get what they call a timed entry, ticket situation.
Yep.
And you get how many? I think you can get up to 6 tickets.
Right.
And then see that's weird.
It's
'cause
cool,
that's
man.
how many of us there are.
Let me say that a little bit louder for the people in the back.
Okay.
When you come to Washington, D.C., all of the museums, everything that's connected to the Smithsonian is free.
Yes.
However, you need to have tickets for most of these places, right?
No, for all of them.
It's very different than it used to be back in the day. You just walk up and you just cruise on in and do your thing and look at the pretty paintings or look at the dinosaur bones or whatever it is, right? But in today's world, you need to have a ticket to entry.
Right.
And so what Tracy is saying is that they also have those tickets that are time stamped, and so you have to arrive at a certain time frame. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, yes. So they'll give you a drop-down menu, and they'll show you how many tickets are left for certain time entries. And you pick the time you want to come in. Some are gone already. And then you just drop down, and you put your address and your name and everything in there, and then you get your free tickets on your phone.
Right.
So make sure you get your tickets like that. That's what I sat down and did yesterday. July is gone. August is gone. I got to start pulling tickets for August. But because we're doing free July, Heath and I will be visiting the parks and the museums this month, and we're going to share all of that with you all so you can see how cool it is.
And then one more pro tip connected to the National African American Museum of History and Culture. It's the newest museum on the Smithsonian and is the most impossible to get into.
Yeah.
So what you want to do is you want to make sure that if you're coming to DC and you want to see that museum, you got to plan ahead, find the opening and get those tickets. And then in conjunction with that, they do have the ability to like walk up and wait.
No,
you can't do that anymore.
No, I checked yesterday.
Okay.
So I went in there because there's some parts of the museum that we missed last time we went. We went like right when it opened.
Yeah.
And so we have not been able to go back since.
Okay.
And I really don't want to go back because the cafe's not open.
It's all about the cafe.
I want
baby.
the mac and cheese from the cafe.
It's all about the cafe.
All I can think of about the mac and cheese.
There's a lot of stuff in that museum.
But anyway,
yeah.
So the thing about the African American Museum. You can still take some beautiful pictures out and around it.
Yes.
I really wish they had gardens or something, and there is space. I'm hoping they add gardens to it. But the thing about it is they release tickets every 30 days.
Okay.
And right now, July and August are gone.
Okay.
So if you want, I would just put a little tickler in there, get up every morning and go into the website and pull if you're thinking about coming here in the fall or something.
Right.
The tickets won't go on sale for 30 days. I don't know if they add a day every day. I hope not, because if that's the case, it's impossible.
It's all right.
But yeah, I was just really frustrated, so I left that website.
About it.
Yeah, so Share the Truth says, I'm thinking of moving to Silver Spring.
Okay,
and we do
share.
have a video on Silver Spring.
Go share.
So go check that out. Share. Thank you. Agent 007, my favorite. I'm new here, and your husband is so freaking funny. Isn't
Love
it?
it. Love it, Agent 007.
Yes.
And shout out to Care 007, right? Agent 007 obviously has some connectivity to Bond, right? And so just
there we go.
Kind of shout out.
It's me. I'm manifesting my Bondites.
So for those of you that didn't know, Trace is
I'm
also a Bond fan,
manifesting.
right? So that's just kind of cool. There was a just kind of cool connection right
So
there.
y'all, a little fun fact about me. I've had 4 kids, and every time, maybe except for the first one, every time, you know how you sit in the you're going through labor, and they got the Pitocin going or whatever, and there's like nothing to do. Everybody's kind of standing around looking at you, waiting for you to have the baby. I watch James Bond marathons while I'm having babies.
Oh my gosh.
So that's where I am.
We got stories, y'all.
See, Ashton, good morning.
Hey, what's
guys.
up? What's up, C. Ashton?
Oh, that's so sweet.
Yeah.
So, okay. I like that. Thank you so much.
Appreciate you, brother.
We'll have to talk about that. We're goals.
Goals.
It's
I
rough.
mean, I think when C is saying goals in terms of, hey, being not only being married for 31 years, but continue to be joyfully married, which is sort of the theme of our
It's
content.
definitely a choice.
Right.
See,
And so
it's definitely a choice.
It definitely takes some perspective and thought and determination to make sure that you're focused on that each and every day, each and every week, right?
And I'd have to say we definitely focus
Right.
on our relationship.
We do.
We focus. I mean, I'm always focused on it, as I
Mhm.
know Heath is.
Mhm.
Even in just doing regular stuff throughout the day. If I'm going to get up, get a glass. If I'm going to do this, I just constantly keep that thought of what does he need,
Right.
and he does the same for me.
There
It's
you
not
go.
that hard.
Yeah.
You just have to really, really remember that you're connected to another person. That other person
Absolutely.
is part of you. Now there are days where we're like,
You're
Go.
getting on my nerve.
"Dude, we don't
Go away.
we don't say it. We just do it. We just do it."
Oh,
All right.
man.
What does Adam say? Yes, DC is one of the best cities in
Completely
the world.
agree. Completely agree, Adam.
I think it's so underrated.
It is.
It is so underrated,
Mhm,
guys.
mhm.
It reminds me of like a quaint European city. It's
Mhm.
just absolutely beautiful here.
Yep.
Yes,
Completely
Karen
agree.
007. Great minds think alike, girl.
Bond,
yes.
shout out to the
Oh,
Bond crew.
YouTube mention. Yes, get that YouTube going, Logan.
Let's
Get
do
that
it.
YouTube going.
Let's get it.
Yes.
Let's get it. Mhm.
Yes, I did too. I grew up on Bun.
Yeah.
Okay, so Logan also asked, is
Mhm.
DC a good place for black businesses? Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, yes. We have
Yeah.
answered this question before, but we'll be happy to answer it again.
Okay. You want me to get into it? You're going to
Go
get into
ahead,
it?
get into it, baby.
So, I mean, I think that DC, Atlanta, two of the most positive places for black business on planet Earth, right outside of Africa. And I think that when you are engaging in business, having the plethora of HBCUs and people that proliferate here, right, with all of the Howardites and the Bowie States and all of the places that are connected here, and people that also migrate here after their graduations
Yeah.
and that kind of thing, right? And so it's a real connectivity in terms of black businesses and black people and other people who are looking to support black businesses from that perspective, right? And so as it relates to that, I think that whether it's something in the government contracting space, and a lot of people create businesses in those spaces and going after those government contracts and being engaged in these larger projects and that kind of thing, and really building businesses there, as well as kind of the new digital space, right? And so lots of things that are happening in combination with those, right? And so everything in between. I think that if you have a business, that you would definitely find some tremendous support for that.
I think the support in DC for black businesses is unmatched.
Mhm.
And when I say that, I mean it's not just us supporting our businesses.
Mhm.
Everyone supports black businesses here.
Mhm.
And they do it openly
Yeah.
and justly. And they don't do it from, any kind of guilt trip or anything like that.
Mhm.
I'd have to say that's probably the biggest difference between us and places like Atlanta.
Mhm.
So here, everyone supports black businesses.
Right.
And so I just think it's so refreshing to see. There's actually, when I go on next door,
Mhm.
there's actually people of the lighter persuasion saying, hey, we're the black businesses I can support,
Mhm.
not just us. And I
Right,
just
right.
love that. I love that about living here.
Yeah.
And I just think it's encouraging. It's encouraging to see some change and acceptance around that. People actually have signs in their windows saying this is a black owned business, and you see people lined up. And it's amazing. One of the places I sneak and get my lunch when I don't eat lunch with Heath is called Roaming Rooster, and their chicken sandwiches are so good.
Uh-huh.
And it's just one of those, and they recently opened a place in a predominantly lighter persuasion neighborhood.
Mhm.
So, and they're doing well there.
Shout out to Roman Roosters.
And so it's just really, really a good place for any type of black business. I think you'll have plenty of support here, most definitely.
+1.
Next question.
Yes.
Bucket 88, welcome to the
What's
show.
up? What's up, Bucket?
Good morning. Just found your channel recently. Keep up the great work. Oh, thank you so much. That's so sweet. Thank
We
you.
appreciate
Thank
you.
you.
Appreciate you. Like and subscribe.
Yes, Agent 007. I'm a young business professional who's going to be relocating to the DC area in the fall.
Okay.
Where do all the young people live?
Where the young folk at?
Where the young folk at? So Navy Yard,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Navy Yard,
Mm-hmm.
Navy Yard.
North, or was it Northeast as
Clarendon,
well?
no, Roslyn.
Did Jasmine speak on that a little bit when she was talking
Last
too?
week, she spoke a little bit on it.
The week before last.
Yes.
Yeah, Agent 007. Definitely check out the video that we did, the live stream that we did a couple of weeks ago with our daughter.
Yeah.
Our daughter is a millennial, and so she has lots of friends who are in these different neighborhoods in DC. So check that out. I think she touched on that too. But yeah.
Northeast DC,
Mhm.
that's close in, is
Mhm.
another area that a lot of people, it's called the 8th Street Corridor.
Mhm,
They have a
mhm.
Whole Foods over there, a lot of great little bars and shopping and
Yep,
everything.
yep.
Navy Yard,
Mhm.
Navy Yard, Navy Yard.
They live other places in the Navy Yard.
I don't think so.
Check out Shaw.
Every
Check out
time-
Shaw Howard University
Let me
area.
know. Let me tell y'all something. Every time I run into a younger person, and especially before I started moving, people were like, "So, we're moving to Navy Yard," and I was like, "Really?" It's just weird. I just think everybody's moving to Navy Yard. They have a lot of options
Navy
there.
Yard is dope. Navy Yard
It's
is
dope.
Yeah.
It's really, really
you
dope
got
over
the
there.
views of the
Everything,
water, you got,
like literally everything is new.
Restaurants. Yeah, the whole thing is new almost.
Yeah.
And you can walk down to the Nats game, right? It's like, so, pro
It's-
baseball, they play 162 games a year, right? So that means you got 80 games or so at the stadium there.
They do
So
have a
if you-
waterfront.
So if you're into baseball, that's pretty cool. And
They do have a couple metro stations.
lots of bars, restaurants, metro stations.
Yeah, it's
that
a
are
really
near
cool
there,
place to
walkable.
live.
Yeah.
So that's where they all live. So you can start there and just,
Yeah.
determine how you like it.
Yeah.
But yeah, if I were
Lot of-
young
lot-
and single, and I'd probably start there
Yeah.
just to get the
A lot of good
groove.
vibes, good energy over in Shaw as well.
Yeah, but I don't think they live there.
Some of them live over there.
Yeah,
Some of them
the houses are kind of expensive.
I know
over
what you're saying.
there.
baby.
So the other place I would say is Roslyn,
Mhm,
a little bit quainter,
Mhm.
but because it's across the river from Georgetown,
Yeah.
it's really cool because
Yeah.
you can just jog across the bridge that I showed you earlier.
Or walk.
Yeah, you could walk.
You can stroll across
and
the
you,
bridge.
and you're in
Georgetown.
Georgetown. At the restaurants and bars and
Yeah.
everything there. And plus, the other place is Clarendon.
Yeah, Clarendon.
Clarendon, if you have
Mhm.
a little bit more income
A
than
lot
you
of young folk over
do,
there.
So Navy Yard, if you have some income and you
Mhm.
can, regular income,
Trace say something.
or Clarendon, if you have more income. The thing about Clarendon is they've got a great metro stop.
Mhm.
They've got tons of shops. They have like a mini mall. There's a Whole Foods. So this is the key.
What's the key, baby?
Whole Foods is the key.
Okay, where the Whole
I
Foods
don't
at?
particularly.
That's like an old real estate trick right
It
there,
is.
right?
It really is.
Where are they building the Whole Foods? Okay, I need to check that neighborhood
Check
out.
it. Yeah. Check. Thank you for a super chat, Adam. Thank you for a super chat.
Adam gave us a super chat.
Adam. Yes.
Come on,
yes.
come on. What?
Yay. Thank
We
you.
appreciate you, Adam.
Adam.
Shout out, Adam.
Let's get to his question.
BCC out there.
What do you think is the most underrated neighborhood? in
Underrated.
DMV?
Oh, that's a good question, Adam.
I'm gonna tell you.
Wow. Wait. Let me pontificate.
No, I don't have to pontificate.
Queen Tracy, you already know the answer. Oh, this is your answer. This is not necessarily the answer.
I love.
It may not be the same answer that I would give, but go ahead. Let's hear your answer.
I love Shaw Howard University.
Okay,
neighborhood.
I see you.
love that neighborhood. Let me tell you why I love that neighborhood.
Okay,
y'all.
speak on it, baby.
I love that neighborhood because it used to be awful,
A little blight.
and
Some
now
little rough around the edges over
it
there.
is absolutely gorgeous.
Oh, when Trace and I went to Howard, we lived in Shaw Howard University area, right? Because we were students at Howard, and so
Yeah.
you walk down the street, you leave campus, and it was just like the height of the,
It was
the
like
crack
run.
epidemic.
It was like run.
It was just
Run
like
to the, because we had a couple dorms off campus in the neighborhood, and it was like, you going down? Are you going down? Are you going down the slope?
You had to
Are
make
you
sure
going down to
you
Carter?
had like a
So let me tell y'all how bad and how long the neighborhood. My father attended Howard University.
Okay,
and he
in the
lived in the
60s.
Carter.
not the Carter. That's from the movie.
No, I'm sorry.
New Jack City.
It might as well.
Yo,
have
my
been.
dad over in the Carter.
What was the name of the men's dorm down
It's
there
by
by
Carver.
Slow? Thank you.
Name
He
for
lived in Carver,
Carver Hall.
which is one of the men's dorms off campus, and he told me that he got jumped walking home to Carver
Yeah.
one night.
Yeah.
And literally, while I was at Howard University,
That happens every now and then.
a few guys got jumped.
Yeah. Yeah.
Walking home to Carver. And of course, when my daughter was at Howard University,
Okay. Okay.
some of her friends got jumped walking home to Carver.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that tells you how long. My dad is 77. That tells you how long Logan Park, that's the name of the park that they call around Howard University.
Right.
Beautiful. The home, it's all mansions because that's where the intelligentsia lived that did not live in the Arlington area or some of the Maryland areas. And beautiful mansions that were turned into rooming houses.
Right. Right. Right.
And I lived in a couple of them.
Sure. Sure.
And there are a couple of Howard dorms that Howard still owns, but they've now been gentrified.
Right. Right. Right.
But the Logan Park Shaw Howard University area is just amazing. So it's going to be U Street,
Yep.
Florida Avenue, Georgia Avenue, and all the way to like 14th Street.
LeDroit Park.
LeDroit Park. What do I have? Logan Park.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the other end. So you got Logan Circle on one end,
Yeah.
and then you have LeDroit Park on the other end. That whole area of DC is just.
And if you happen to get jumped over there now, there will be 10 cops on the scene in 3
Boom.
minutes.
First, it'd be Howard University police. Guns drawn.
This thing is just like, woof.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's like, it's totally different. The sidewalks are like white.
Yeah.
They're not gray.
it's a
They don't have
different
gum
vibe.
on them.
It looks like the city just got
It looks like they just
spit
power
shine.
washing.
They're like they spit shine the whole
Everything.
city.
You know, flowers blooming everywhere. And
It did not look like
everyone's
that in the 80s.
homes are just so beautiful
Look,
now.
in the
and
80s, trust, it did not look like it did not look like that.
I think there are about 15 of us in one house over there when I was
my gosh.
in a room. So I lived in one room house. There were like 15 of us, and then I lived in another room house. There were like 11 of us.
Right.
So
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
Mr. Marshall was getting paid.
Yes.
But yes, definitely. I mean, if we had our druthers, we would probably live there.
That was a good answer, baby.
So you don't have another one?
What
Underrated
underrated
DMV.
neighborhoods in the
And
DMV.
all of the DMV.
I would say we hear a lot about a lot of different neighborhoods, right? We talked about Navy Yard, we talked about Shaw Howard University, we talked about Georgetown. But low key, probably the baddest neighborhood in all of the district
That you
might
do
be.
not hear about, and you won't be hearing about.
It's called Calorama.
Woo! Bring your coins.
In Calorama, let me just say like this: the richest dude in the world, Jeff Bezos, has
Lives
a place in Calorama.
The former president of the
The
United
former
States
president of the United States, Barack Obama,
owns a home.
has a home in Calorama. There was the daughter of the former president
Yep, they live there.
lived in Calorama, and so just understand, bring the bag, and you will be over there in Calorama too.
So we're going to give you film of Calorama. Heath and I are going to do lunch at Calorama Park.
I
think I'm going to do it tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite neighborhood parks we rode through a few weeks ago. And we're like, ooh, what's that? And it was just so beautiful, and people were hanging out there and everything. You just bring a little lunch, hang out at Calorama Park.
Yeah.
They're not going to be any bums. They're asking you for money and lunch. So I shouldn't say bums. I should say
that's the 80s term,
people-
baby.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm such a Gen
Yeah.
Xer.
Yes.
Because we're just not offended by anything.
Shout out Gen X.
Yeah, Gen X in the house. Yes, check that video out, Agent 007.
Yes,
Thank you
yes.
very. Oh,
No
thank
doubt.
you.
Appreciate
Thank you
you.
so much for the love, guys.
Appreciate
Just
it.
thank you for the love. Thank you for the love.
The love is flowing.
Let's see, Greta. Hey, Greta, what's up? What about Generation X? Yes.
Gen
What
X.
areas would you suggest a single Gen
Okay.
Xer consider?
Okay.
Woo, there are so many areas for Gen
Mm-hmm.
Xers because we have more money. Let's see. I would say if it were Heath and I, we really liked Roslyn.
We like Rosalind.
And I'm going to tell you why we liked Roslyn. We
Okay.
liked Roslyn because it was residential, but not too residential.
Right.
And it was commercial because you had your buildings, you have a Target, you have a Safeway, you have the restaurants, you have walking. I mean, we walked everywhere. We lived there for about 30 days. We walked everywhere.
Yeah.
and
enjoyed it.
we really really enjoyed it. It's a
Mhm.
great location. You can get anywhere. You can hop right on GW Parkway and get anywhere,
Mhm.
and you can hop right on the Beltway and get anywhere. It's
Mhm.
not far from the airport. If you're working in downtown Arlington, Crystal City, National Landing, Pentagon City, it's a straight shot, maybe 10 minutes, maybe not even 10 minutes.
Mhm.
Now, that's for Maryland.
No,
For-
that was for Virginia, baby.
I'm sorry,
Roslyn
that
was
was
in
for
Virginia.
Virginia. That's
Okay, well,
Roslyn,
while we're on
Virginia.
while we're on Virginia, I'll speak on Crystal City.
Yes.
So, with respect to Crystal City, it is in transition, and when I
Yes.
say in
Yes, it is.
transition, meaning that it was developed, in a bustling hub for businesses in the 80s when Tracy and I lived here before.
Yeah,
And
it was.
a lot of companies that were connected there were government contracting space, right? Booz Allen and NAVC and NAVAIR and these kind of governmental agencies that were connected to various bases all over the world and that kind of thing. And so it was really bustling in the 80s, and then they had a number of base closures. Back in the day, you guys might recall 10, 15, 20 years ago, they closed a lot of bases. And so that area kind of thinned out, and it got like a little empty-ish feeling in Crystal City. And so that was actually one of the reasons that Amazon decided to put their headquarters there, was because it gives you so much potential. And so in terms of the location, you have three metro stations in Crystal City. You have views of the Potomac River. It's next door to Reagan National Airport, and it has views of downtown DC. So, and you can actually see some monuments and that kind of thing from some of those buildings.
Yeah.
And Amazon is building its HQ2 in that area,
It's
right?
going
So
to change the whole area.
You're gonna have these signature towers that Amazon is building. The state is infusing a lot of capital. Amazon is infusing a lot of capital. And those areas over there are going to be really sought after, I think, 10 years from now. So just kind of a pro tip in terms of looking for places
If you
and
want to
spaces.
invest, it's kind of hard though because people already know that, and so a lot of it's getting snapped up already.
Yeah. So just wanted to throw that out.
So
there as
another
as
place
another
for a Gen
option.
Xer to move, baby.
Mm-hmm.
I would say it depends on where you want to live.
Mhm,
It depends on what. It's so many options here.
Yep.
So for us, we wanted to be more urban. We've been suburban for 20, 30 years. So we
Mhm.
wanted to be more urban. So that's why we chose the first one to say is Roslyn. And that's why we live in Arlington now. We love Arlington, by the way. We would say Arlington, Alexandria, all of that is just really, really hitting it for us.
Yep.
Silver Spring, if you want to do something on on the Maryland side, Silver Spring, and I will also say Chevy Chase / downtown Bethesda.
Yep.
Whoop whoop
You
whoop
like it.
whoop.
You like it.
You would love it there. So downtown Chevy Chase / Bethesda area is booming too. Marriott International is building their new headquarters there. Their homes in walking distance to literally everything.
Yep.
They've got this area called Bethesda Row, and they've got shops and restaurants. It's open. It's just people walking in the middle of the street, riding their bikes and it's just like a really like cool kind of chill vibe. Not that little. It's not millennial-ish. No offense, but I get what you're saying. So it's not like that. It's more of just a chill vibe.
Yeah.
And we go there a lot, even though we live in Virginia. We go to Bethesda Row and hang out a lot because it's just not far.
And there could be some options in PG County as well for Greta.
So for Greta, if you want to do PG County, all of our friends live in Mitchellville or
Kettering.
Upper Marlboro, the
Upper
country
Marlboro,
club. So I think a
Landover.
lot of them live in the country club because that's where the camaraderie is. So because they all, they're around the things in the country. They all have their big houses and everything.
Yep.
So a lot of our friends live in the country club.
Yeah.
So if I were to move to Bowie, I would probably just move to the country club out there. I forget the name of it, but
Yeah.
they have a couple. But it's really, really nice. It's unmatched
Yep.
as far as what where we live, and I really like that area too.
You got that new area over there by the casino.
That is really nice. We did. We drove. Oh, did I have film of that?
I don't know,
put that
baby.
up.
Maybe we'll
It's-
pull that up next week.
Yeah, next week. But where the casino is, where MGM is, and the other waterfront, that used to be Oxon Hill, Maryland.
Yeah, it
I
used
think
to be
that's why it
Oxon
has
Hill.
it in my head.
Right.
But they've got a beautiful community of townhomes over there
Lots of shops.
that are in shops and restaurants, and the Gaylord. The Gaylord is not open yet, but it will be opening. Let me tell you something. When it opens, it's going to be a wholly different scene over there.
Yep.
But they are also on the waterfront. Beautiful townhomes on the waterfront. I think they're in the 700 range. If you want to see what they look like, you can go on Housewives, and that's where Candace used to live. So it's really beautiful over there, though. It's really, I really like the feel of it and everything.
Cool.
So I think you would enjoy all of those places that we mentioned.
Yep. And then so much more that we haven't mentioned.
I know. There's so many. There's
'Cause
so
the
many.
DMV is so dope.
Now we had another question here.
We
Here it
did?
is. Oh, here it is.
Okay.
Lil 2344. Go ahead and
Lily.
read that.
It's
Heath.
Lily 2344.
Oh, okay. Lily,
What's
sorry
up,
about
Lily?
that.
Hey, Heath and Tracy, I've been lurking. Oh, I'm
You're
shy.
a lurker. That's okay.
But I'm finally talking. I'm thinking of pivoting from media
Hey.
to tech.
Oh, wow.
How's the opportunity for entry-level tech and DMV, particularly
Oh,
Java?
That's Heath's.
Look, Lily, let me tell you, there is endless opportunity in DC in the tech space, right? So between the private industry as
Yeah.
well as the governmental and governmental related things, right? Any kinds of tech skills that you're bringing to the marketplace, you're going to be able to find a space, right? And so I would encourage you to maybe do a deep dive in some of the companies or entities that you're most interested in, and see what the postings look like, right? So definitely use Java as a key term in your search, and if there are other skills that you bring to the table, understand what that is. And then conversely, I would also say look at what some of the job postings are in general and see if there are skills that you can add to increase your income even more, right? So I would definitely encourage you to do that, right? And so I work for Amazon in the daytime, I work for AWS, and so in that space there is constant hiring. And
I work for
so
Cisco Systems.
Tracy knows in that space as well. And so I think at the end of the day, there are a plethora of options and ideas for you. If you want to do a deep dive into that, certainly reach out after the show.
Yeah, look in the comments below and click on appointment with Heath.
Yeah,
and
and we can get into it
yeah,
more. But
he'll
yeah,
definitely help you
lots
out
of
a lot.
opportunity. I would be super excited if I were you.
You are so welcome, Greta, and we hope to see you
Greta.
soon in the DMV.
All right, Gen X girl.
Gen X in the house. Don't nobody know, but we are the best generation.
Trace, I
Moving
wish you would
on.
tell us how you feel, really.
No, I really feel that way. But if you don't care, we don't care.
You got a friend's parents live in Woodmore. Some people
Woodmore,
over
that's
there.
the name of the country club. Yeah, that's where our friends live.
Okay.
Woodmore.
Shout
yeah.
out Agent 007 bringing value to the show.
Thank you. Yeah, share. Help each other out
Hey,
here.
that's
That's
one-
why
that's
we're here. We want to be a
one-
community for
one-
each other. We
one
want to
big community.
encourage people to just feel good about,
One big community.
moving here.
No doubt.
So we're going to do a new part of the show here. Not a new part, but the next part of the show.
Are we transitioning?
We are transitioning.
This is the part of the show where it's almost time to go.
Almost, but we have a little bit of time. Just maybe about 5 minutes. It should be a minute.
But
But
we
he's
won't-
going to give you 5.
We're not gonna give you 5.
Okay, baby.
Well, you messed up my transition. I was trying to give you the
I'm
radio
being
voice.
a part. I'm being
I
a
was
part of
trying
the
to-
transition.
I was trying to bring the Melvin Lindsay, trying to bring the Quiet Storm vibes.
But then
to
I
the,
just sit here, and it's not working for me. Okay.
Oh, so today on the Mindset Minute, we're talking about this. We're talking about how to think, right? And so thinking is certainly a skill that many of us have not been taught. I think that what's so important is that if you think about thinking, it is so valuable, but it's harder to come by than the ability to critically think through problems that you haven't encountered before. So poor thinking versus good thinking. That's what we're talking about here, right? And poor thinking has a cost, right? It leads to decisions that consume time, it reduces options, and it increases your stress. So what you want to make sure is that you are giving time to things that matter in your life, right?
I mean, if you think about it, we haven't really been taught how to think.
Right.
You
Right.
know, we've been taught how to do.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
So when you're doing good thinking, you're giving time to the thought, right? And that's going to make your future easier. Good thinking is going to enable you to make better decisions, and it's going to allow you to have more free time,
Yeah.
less stress,
Less stress.
and more opportunity. So the moral of the story when you're thinking is that you don't want to multitask.
Oh my God, I do this all the time.
Yeah. Yeah. Multitasking actually has been demonstrated to be sort of the opposite of thinking. And the more multitasking you're doing, actually, the worse it is.
Ooh, I'm guilty of
Right.
this.
And so what you have to do is if there are things that you need to give consideration to,
Mhm.
you need to isolate that and just think about that thing. You want to concentrate and stick to what that question is. You want to be patient with it, and you want to let all parts of your mind come into play. And that way you will arrive at an additional idea, because when you're not doing that, you're essentially going to be pulling ideas from other things that you read or heard or conventional thought and those kinds of things.
Okay.
So what you
Okay.
have to do is isolate that time and just do some what's called hard thinking, right? And when you're doing hard thinking, what you're doing is that you're really understanding the problem.
Okay.
You're understanding the variables and the nuances of the problem, and you're thinking through the second and third order effects. And you're often understanding that a little pain now, right, doing that hard work on the front end is going to bring you a little pain. But when you go through that, that's going to make your future so much easier.
There we go. So get into thinking more, guys. Just take that, maybe try a minute and then move to 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And then move to 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And then try not to multitask.
One of the things I do when I want to do a deep dive into something that I'm tackling or considering, or I'm giving a lot of thought to, like this big thing I'm looking to figure out, is I go outside.
Oh, he does. He does.
I go outside and I take a walk or I take a stroll, and it enables me to kind of move away from the distractions, right? You're not getting your Twitter and your Facebook and your IG pings and all of that. And it just gives me the opportunity to just focus. One, I can be in gratitude and just understand the beautiful nature around me. But two is that it enables me to just focus on what it is that I need to think about.
Yeah.
And it gives me, I find that it gives me additional clarity, and it helps bring into focus what it is that I need to solve for. And so anytime I have something to really figure out, I usually go outside and take a stroll.
That's good, baby. I think that really works.
Yep.
So in closing, guys, oh, wow, we went over a little bit today on the show, but we want to come back strong for you. Next week, we're going to be talking about Baltimore.
Be more in the building.
Good morning, Baltimore. And if you enjoyed your time with us today, join us again next Saturday at
Yes.
11 a.m. EST.
We'll be here.
In the building, we will be here. And remember,
Wherever you are going, don't just live there.
design your life there.
We
I
love
almost
y'all.
forgot.
It's all right,
Bye.
baby. It's
Wrap
all
up.
right.
Just give it up. I'm not your girl and I never will be. Don't call me up. Don't waste your time, 'cause I'll be your enemy. If you want love, look somewhere else. He'll find nothing. Just give it up. I'm not your girl, 'cause I only love me. Don't get me wrong. You and I could have fun together when I feel done with having fun on my own. It's better to care for yourself, not rely on somebody else. So don't get me wrong, I'm just riding alone. Just walk away, 'cause I got no intentions of hanging out with you tonight. Don't look my way. If you want a problem, I'll give you a problem, alright? If you want love, just give it up. You got the wrong girl. You got the wrong, you got the wrong, you got the wrong girl.
You turn the music up, man.